HadesOmega here, and it's show and tell time. So it's dawned on me that I've never done a video about my KLR650. So here it is. It's this is a 1992 Kawasaki KLR650. This is also what they call the Barbie model, because it looks like a motorcycle that Barbie would ride. Like, it's a very unique color scheme. It's got like a blue, green, and white and pink kind of color scheme. So I'm gonna talk about this bike, a little history of it, just like I did with my my DR650, and the mods I have on it, and like why I still have it. I don't even know how long I've had this bike. I must have had this bike for more than a decade now. So here's the story. So I bought this off, I think, a Ukrainian dude in Belmont. The story was he bought this off his neighbor, who he got his leg amputated or something because he had like cancer or something, so he couldn't ride anymore. And he said like the bike had been laid down once in like a garage or something, which is why it had some scratches over here. But I actually replaced this panel or something. So yeah, so I bought it from him. I bought it from this guy. He owned a smog shop in Belmont, and he's a real nice guy. He's kind of short, so the bike he had to lower the bike for himself. And I have since I've just very recently raised it back using the stock links, and I'll tell you why later. But yeah, so we bought it off this guy in Belmont. We were looking. It was a bike supposed to be for me and my dad were supposed to share it, and I was looking for a dual sport. So my dad had a KLR250, but I wanted something bigger, like a KLR650. So, and like I guess he wanted something bigger so he could commute to work on the freeway. So lo and behold, I looked into a KLR650. I didn't want one so old, but this one I think we paid. It was either $1,500 or $2,000. I can't remember, but it's in very good shape for its age. I'll tell you that. This is one of the nicest KLRs I've seen around. Like, I don't really see them this clean. The only thing that shows its age is that the plastics are weathered. The plastics are all fading and stuff. So yeah, so the previous owner had it lowered for himself, and I think he had bought a Husqvarna. That was the reason he was selling this. So he had bought a Husqvarna, and so he needed to sell this one because he had too many bikes. And this guy was like he was like a Kawasaki GPZ collector or something. He had like a whole bunch of GPZs, like 1100s and 750s and some classic KZs. He's a Kawi guy. But anyway, so yeah. That's the story. So let's talk about the... Oh, yeah. And then when we got it, yeah, it's funny. The first thing I had rode it home from Belmont in the rain, I'll tell you. And immediately as we brought it back home, the next day we found out it had a flat tire. So we already had to fix the flat tire. It had like a nice fat Metzler tire on it before in the rear. And it did not have another 17-inch front. So okay, so anyway, let me talk about the mods that I got that came with it when I bought the bike. It was lowered. It had a generic engineering or something, or generic engineering lowering link. And the reason that I had changed the link is because it was fatter. It's fatter than the stock link. The stock link is made out of steel, and this one was made out of aluminum and was thicker, and it was hitting shit. The center, I bought a center stand for this, and the center stand hit it, and it kind of damaged it a little bit. But you know, I rode this bike for many years with it lowered, and I liked it. I like it lowered. You know, it's just one of the problems. Let me show you one of the problems with it being lowered. Is if you have a lot of weight on the bike and you fully compress this swing arm, this caliper contacts the muffler, and that's why there's some kind of JB weld on this thing. is because this hit that very hard. So yeah. Anyway, this is one of the mods that the previous owner did. This is a Jardine RT4 muffler. Very loud muffler, but it sounds very nice too. Also, I like it. It doesn't sound farty like all other mufflers. It doesn't sound wimpy like the boat anchor stock muffler. I didn't even have the stock muffler. I don't know what happened to it. Never gave it to me. This is a Acerbis front fender. You cannot buy these anymore. This is like a two-tone one. I don't know. Maybe you could still. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is very nice. It matches the bike very well. The stock fender is all blue, like this color blue. But this one is like kind of like a Kawasaki green and a white, but it's all faded now, unfortunately. I don't know if there's any way I could restore that, because all the stickers look fine, but the plastics are all faded. Yeah, so it came with these Acerbis fork gaiters. It also came with these Acerbis handguards. You can tell he's a big Acerbis fan. He likes them Italian plastics. And it had a Scott oiler. He said he was going to take this off of the bike before he sold it, but we came and got the bike and it was still installed. So, and I don't know if it works anymore. It used to work, but I don't know what happened to it. When I uninstalled it and then I installed it again, maybe I have to there might be like a kink in the hose or something. Yeah, I don't know. But also it has like a gold DID gold chain. I've had it since I've had the bike, so, and it's been great. What else did he put on it? He put one of these. It's a Tourmaster tank bag. That's the only piece of luggage this bike had on it. It's a very nice tank bag, and it's strapped onto the bike, which I kind of like and I kind of don't like. And it's kind of annoying. I really only put it when it's I only really put it when I need to go somewhere. I'm gonna do a big trip and I need to carry a lot of stuff, because one, people can steal it, and two, like, people can break into it. These are much more secure. What else? Also, he had when this still had the 21-inch wheel, it had some Avon gripsters. So he was really going for that Supermoto thing, and I helped him complete it. Anyway, yeah. So also it has a K&N filter in here. Yeah, and then I think those are the only mods that he did. He says he jetted it, but I don't think so. I opened up the carb and the jetting looks the same, but it runs good. All right, so let me get on to the mods that I did. So this bike, immediately you'll notice the difference between this bike and a stock KLR is the front wheel. The front wheel, this is a KLR650 front wheel. I think it's from 88 KLR650. It's the older KLR, you know. And this is the rear wheel laced onto the front hub of a KLR650. So if you wanna make a cheap Supermoto conversion, there you go. And it's running, I think it's a 120/90/17 in the front and a 130/80/17 in the rear. So it's a little taller in the rear, and ideally, this is a 120. Yeah, actually, I've got a 140 that I've got to install on this, but I'm waiting for these Kenda 70. What is this, Kenda 700s? I can't tell. Yeah, I think these are Kenda 700s or 705s. It's one of those 700 series Kendas. They're the more streety ones. Yeah, I have a 140, a Shinko 140 that was supposed to put on this, but I'm waiting to burn through this tire first. So yeah, so that's what I think it paid like $150-ish to have a. I think it was more than 150 because I had to buy the spokes. The guy that I had do this, lace the wheel up, he actually had a set of spokes for this wheel. Just, you know, what luck, right? And I had to change the bearings because the bearings were like shot. I actually let this wheel sit around for a long time. That's probably why it doesn't look so good anymore. So yeah, so it's a little cheap Supermoto mod. It's in no way like you know, it's a little fat for for Supermoto, but it's more like a sport tourer now. A very light sport tourer. I know it's not. You can't really classify it as Supermoto because it's kind of heavy, but you can't really classify it as a sport tourer because it's kind of light too. So, yeah, it's a strange bike. Oh, so another thing about this bike when I first got it was it vibrated like hell. It vibrated a lot, and so like many of these KLRs suffer from the doohickey problem. So yeah, this bike vibrated a lot. I did everything I could to quell the vibrations, and then I guess like maybe like more than 5 years after I've owned it, I said fuck it, I'm gonna fix this shit. Like I fixed the doohickey with the Eagle Mike doohickey. Yeah, this has the Eagle Mike doohickey, the counterbalancer adjuster. It has the updated one with the torsion spring, so it's like a really nice. And I had found out that when I had opened it, well, it was broken for one thing. It was broken and not working, so the chain was like just flopping all over the place. Good thing the engine didn't grenade itself or anything, but yeah, it made the bike vibrate a lot because I think what had happened is it had skipped some teeth on the counterbalancer. I think I had found it out of time when I did actually replace. So this has updated counterbalancer components from a newer KLR. I think maybe like a 2000 KLR, a 2000-ish KLR. They have a newer updated counterbalance system, and that's what's on there. So like it's pretty much, I pretty much fixed it, except that the teeth on the counterbalancers, one of the counterbalancer sprockets, the one that goes on the crankshaft, is they are like worn down, and like you can see some damage to the case from the chain rubbing on it, and the guides were messed up too. I wound up replacing the guides also, and now it doesn't vibrate a lot. So if you have a KLR650 that vibrates a lot, like so much that your hands get numb after like a little freeway run, then there's something wrong with your counterbalancer. You should fix it. And it's if you don't know what you're doing, it's probably not the easiest to test. You just gotta take all this stuff out. But I won't get into that. So also, oh yeah. So the previous owner also installed a steel braided brake line on this bike, which helps. It helps a lot because the brakes suck on the KLR. All right, so let's get to I'll work on the front of the bike. So the front, another one of the first mods I did was I added a dashboard. It has a dashboard. It used to have two of these before, but this is not very good. It doesn't hold the cigarette lighter adapter very well. So I added one of these I think this is from, I'm not really sure. I think this is for a boat. I got it at Walmart. Works good. It's an all-weather one, and they have the little switches so you can turn them on and off. And I added heated grips to this. So these have little heated grips kit here. Actually, these grips were not stock. These are spider grips. I really like spider grips. Those are my favorite grips. And they have an anti-vibration. It's like an anti-vibration grip. So that's why I used it. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I installed this dash, but I changed this, and I installed heated grips. So this is the power. This is the button to turn on, to adjust the power for the power. The heated grips. So you can go high or low or off, but you need to turn this one on for it to power on. So I have to remind myself, if I see this on, I have to turn this off, or else. And if I leave this on, it'll drain the battery, and it's happened to me a couple times. It's such a pain in the ass. So if you have heated grips, I suggest you just hook it. What I did with my DR is I used a relay to power it. What else? Handlebars. These are handlebars these are rental handlebars. I got these from a parts bike DR650 I had, and and there were blue handlebars. They fit the bike perfectly. This used to have the big steel stock handlebars, and they were bent, I think, because he dropped the bike. So yeah, and these have ROX anti-vibration risers. I just recently reinstalled these, and these help alleviate some of the vibration, but now it's not so bad since I fixed the counterbalancer problem. But it's now you won't be able to feel the vibrations even more, and it makes the bar higher. This would be kind of too low, so it makes it more comfortable to stand. I do like stand-up riding on this. Also has an anti-vibration mirror thingy here, isolator, because these vibrate a whole lot. What else? I have RAM mounts for accessories, and a little cramp buster. These things are awesome. A little cruise control dealie. What else at the front? Oh, and the brakes. I had upgraded the brakes because I had fully loaded this bike and I took it down Mount Hamilton, and I was like, man, the brakes really suck on this bike now. Like they were okay before, but if you put a lot of weight on the bike, it just didn't have enough. Stoppers weren't enough for it, so I bought this EBC brake upgrade kit, and it's huge. It's almost the same size as the wheel. It's crazy big, and it helps a lot. Like I don't have to grab the brake as much anymore. It has this I forgot what brand this is, but it's a oh, there's the SRC. It's an SRC fork brace, and I don't know. I had to add some kind of rubber spacers to it to get it to fit on this. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, but I hope it kind of does its job. Oh, also it has I can see it right here. There's a Cyclops LED headlight. I think I rode this. I was riding this at night. Oh yes. I was riding this at night one time on the mountain, and I was like, and I had a hard time seeing a corner. I was like, man, like if I hadn't seen that corner at the last second, like if I seen it sooner, I would have been no problem. But this corner just came up on me, and I was like, oh man, I almost went over the edge of the road because I couldn't see the turn. So I went and upgraded the headlight to a Cyclops. I really like it. I don't think it's very good on the KLR. It's better on the DR, but okay, so let's go to the back of the bike. We'll just slowly work our way to the back. So this has serrated foot pegs. The stock foot pegs are rubber ones, and they're all right. These are better if it gets wet. Your feet don't slip off of them as bad easily. It's kind of, the stock ones are kind of like these ones. And then let's get to okay. So let's say this is also a little shark fin. This is a shark fin brake. It's there for looks. This is from a Kawasaki Tengai. If you don't know what the Tengai is, the Tengai is basically it's basically the street version of the KLR650, the streetier. I guess you could say it's a Supermoto version of the KLR650. It looks exactly like this, except it has like a kind of like a road fairing sorta, and it has like kind of streety tires, and it had like a, I don't know, it had this brake protector here, and it matched the color of the bike perfectly. Look at it, it's beautiful, right? Okay, so these are let's get to the luggage here. These are dirt racks. These are the unpainted dirt racks that you can buy for like cheap, like $100 something. And I painted them with Ford blue and like some kind of green. I forgot what the green was called. It's not Kawasaki green. It's like extreme green or something, and it matches the bike perfectly. I love it. I think it looks great. I changed a lot of the fasteners to stainless steel Allen head bolts too. You can see, and so many of those. Also, the seat is a Sergeant seat. These are you see, I like to do a lot of custom stuff. But, yeah, this is nice. This is a Sergeant seat. It's lower and wider than the stock seat, and it's hell of a lot more comfortable. The stock seat's not bad. The stock seat is too soft. It's like you're sitting on a pillow. This is much better. The stock seat was blue also. It has a signal sorcerer. Actually, this is one of the first mods I did. I put a signal sorcerer here. It's supposed to help your bike turn the lights green if you're waiting at the light. And I don't know if it works. I guess it works.